Ladies and gentlemen, before we go anywhere, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let us know if you like the video or not in the comments. We would really appreciate it. Today, we have the big block, high output four-wheel drive trucks competing at the East Coast Nationals Truck and Tractor Pull in Fishersville, Virginia. This is a great class of trucks, and the action's kicking off right now. And what a lineup of big block high output trucks we have here tonight. Over 20 trucks competing here in Fishersville today. And kicking things off is going to be Thomas ALPHIN with the Danger Ranger, a top running truck from Virginia in his home state here for the first time with the Appalachian Outlaws since last year. So let's see if he can set a good mark to beat here. And spinning out hard at the end. A lot of people underestimate this truck here because it has a lot shorter wheelbase than the other trucks in the class. But man, always a top contender. That doesn't seem to matter for him. 330.71 gonna be the mark to beat now. And he's gonna keep that distance as well. Feels pretty good about it. So we'll see if it stands. And next up, that's going to bring Jason Barron onto the track with the Flying Farmer truck, a top-running truck from southwestern Pennsylvania. This truck's been all over the place for years and years and years, having a pretty good season so far with the Appalachian Outlaws. Last year, he had a couple breaks throughout the season that kind of stopped him from being a top contender for the points, but this year seems like the truck's locking down a little bit better, doing a little bit better job of driving, and it's showing. And not a bad run for him at all. We'll watch the takeoff here one more time. 321.68. Going to be about 9 feet shy of the Danger Ranger right there. A good run put down by the Flying Farmer. And next up on the track is going to be Brian Allen. A new truck here on the Appalachian Outlaws Pulling Series Tour. A good-looking 70s style Chevy backing into the sled there. Going to be making his Appalachian Outlaws debut here in the big block high output class. A tough truck, but yet to make his maiden voyage with these Outlaws. Let's see what he can do. And not a bad run for him there. We'll take a look at the replay in just a moment. But man, he creeped that thing out there, not even a truck length. Gave it all the beans and was just screaming down through there. Going to be good enough for 312.93. And next up is going to be your #1 truck in the points race for 2023 so far. This is Ronnie Unger behind the controls here tonight of the Undertaker truck, a 1985 Chevy square body. After a win at Cookport at the first pull of the season, that really propelled this team to the top of the list here. After not such a good placing at Listy and a top 3 finish at Weaklands, they are right on track to be where they need to be to win this championship. But it's going to be pretty tough with all these trucks right behind them in the points. Let's see if he can lay a good run down. And we'll take a look at your replay here, 324.36, and it just sounded like that truck could never grab a hold of anything going down the track. Gonna show in the distance there, 324.36, but good enough to keep that top 3 spot so far. And not what you want to see here. We had these guys in the pits all revved up, ready to pull earlier in the day. But man, as soon as they get it hooked to the sled, there was some kind of mechanical issue with the truck and they weren't able to go down the track. So let's have a virtual round of applause. And we're going to move on to our next puller here. And next up, that's going to bring up Adam Tice with the Untamed Aggression truck. A good-looking Ford there, and man, it runs just as good as it looks. He had a great finish a couple weeks ago at Weeklands, and they said they got this thing figured out, the drivetrain components figured out a little bit more to get that truck hooked up and going down the track. So the chain's getting tightened there, and we're going to see what he can do here. This is Adam Tice. Let's see if he can get the 1976 Ford to the winner's circle here. Distance to beat, 330.71. And that's going to be close, but that's good enough to do it. 332.49 for Adam Tice. Got that truck going smooth down the track, straight like an arrow. And that's going to get him about 2 feet past the leader. There's your new leader, fans. And next up is going to be Dalton Vest from Millboro, Virginia, driving a 1986 Ford. Look at that paint job going across that truck. Good looking truck there, and I'll tell you what, this is a truck you want to look out for. In 2020, at the first 2-day Thunder Pool, Dalton actually took the win in the big block high output class, so he was unofficially the first ever winner in an Appalachian Outlaws class. So let's see what he can do here today. And he got it out there. He's right up against the leader. Did he do it, though? Not quite enough. 331.22. Going to be good enough for second place. But, man, he was wide open on that throttle. Did not waste any time getting into the beans there. And that worked out in his favor this time. 331.22. Going to be the distance. And next up on the track, going to be Tom Hull from Doe Hill, Virginia, a 1973 Ford he calls the Outlaw. And this is a top running truck in Virginia. He's won the Outlaw 4-wheel drive class many times. Yet to win an Appalachian Outlaws pool that he's been a part of. So let's see if today's the day. 332.49, the mark to beat. Here's the Outlaw. Not a bad run for him. Let's get a distance. 326.66, so going to be many feet shy of the leader. But man, that truck was just cruising down through there, turning a ton of RPM. Spinning out hard at the end for a distance of 326.66. Not a bad run. And next up is going to be Gary Chambers, and I think it's safe to say this guy probably drove further than anybody to be at this pool here tonight. And after some bad luck last year in Fishersville, he's looking to turn it around and get that #1 spot. Here he is, the 1973 Ford, the Bandit. Oh man, no doubt about it. There's going to be your new leader, but the question right now is just by how much. 354.59 going to be the new mark to beat, and he was just screaming down the track. But when you have 354 feet of track, man, you get that thing cranking at a high wheel speed and it just locks in and goes eventually. And that's exactly what happened there. Such an impressive run put down by Gary Chambers, but we'll see if his competitors are maybe watching trackside. Maybe they'll try something a little bit different as well to get up there with them. But that is going to be a huge distance to overcome there. And next up is going to be Jerry MOSTOLLER, a 1969 Ford he calls the Mistress. He's had a couple instances of bad luck here in 2023, but let's see if he can turn it around. And here he goes. Oh man, and that didn't sound good at the end at all. Looks like some driveline components are broken after all that, but 334.28 gonna be the final distance for him there. Luckily the truck was about done pulling when that all happened, so got it out there pretty good. And next up, this is Nathan Strong, Dallas I behind the wheel. Just an exhibition hook here tonight because he does have too wide of a tire on the truck. That's a 33-1350 tire, I believe, on that truck. Just a little bit too wide. Not going to fit the tire rule here for the official sanctioned class, but a great run nonetheless. We'll give him a replay here. 282.13 going to be the final distance. A good-looking Chevy there, though. An awesome body style. Don't see that too much anymore. And here's something you don't see much of. A Dodge in the gas class. Only a couple of them out there, and they're all good running trucks. Here's one of them. This is Daryl Vest behind the wheel of this truck. A 1977 Dodge from Millboro, Virginia. Let's see if he can take over the #1 spot. Oh man, and giving it all she had and sucking out of power at the end. 328.73, gonna get him right up there in the pack with the rest of the trucks. But man, screaming RPMs down the track and sucking out of power. I'd say he gave it all she had there in a great run. And here's your winner from Weekland's Mechanic Shop. This is Carl Barnhart with the Midlife Crisis Ford, a top running truck here. And he had a lot of issues last year with this truck trying to get things figured out. But man, does he have it figured out now. Been a top truck in every single pull he's been at, besides one so far this year. So a great season. Let's see if he can take the lead. And he gets it up there. We're waiting for a distance and a replay here, but man, what a run put down by Midlife Crisis. 338.28. Gonna be good enough for the #2 spot so far in the class. So he's got to be happy about that, especially with the level of competition here tonight. To be able to get out there in the top 5 even, something to be proud of. And a picture-perfect run. Here's a top running truck as well. Blew past you. Tracy Troy behind the wheel of this truck. A 1993 Chevy from Rector, Pennsylvania. This is probably one of the most consistent trucks in the class. She was in the top 5 last year in points, and she's still sitting there in 2023. So she's just got to go A to B and lay down a good run, and she's going to keep her standing there. Let's see what she can do here. And And spinning out hard at the end, she's going to be about 20 feet behind the leader, but she did what she had to do there, 329.48. So when you're talking about the end game in the grand scheme of things, the points go by the total combined distance of the entire season. So to be able to put up a good run like that, when you look at the whole perspective of things, she's right up where she needs to be. So not a bad run for her, and that is going to put her in the top 5 so far in the class, I believe. So very good job by Tracy Troy there with the blue Past You truck. That's going to bring up another good running truck, the expensive Penny, driven by Taylor Perry from Eagle Rock, Virginia, a 1976 Chevy. Now, Taylor was a competitor in the first year of the Appalachian Outlaws, a top 10 finisher in 2021. Last year, he took a year off, and in 2023, he didn't sign up for points as well, but he's here in Virginia here today, about to make a statement here. Let's see what he can do. And not a bad run for him, 300.42, so gonna be about 50 feet away from the leader. But when you compare the trucks and see what Taylor's got under the hood, man, does that truck run good. An awesome run put down by the expensive Penny. And next up, this is probably the fan favorite truck out of Virginia here. This is the Ridge Runner Reborn. Travis K. and a lot of poolers last year had their hands in this truck, donating parts and time to surprise Travis with his dad's old pooling truck. And this is it right here on the track. He won the points with it last year. He was the 2022 Mountain Boys Poolers champion. So a tough running machine here. Here he goes off the line. Oh man, and he got it up there, 330.19. An impressive run put down by the Ridge Runner, and man, he's got to be happy with that. Took out a lot of top running trucks here today, but still a little bit shy of the leader. But a great run put down nonetheless. And here she is. This is Driving Miss Daisy, Bobby Joe Duke, a top running truck out of southwestern Pennsylvania. Already multiple wins so far in 2023 and a fan favorite out here on the track. So she's backing into the sled, trying to get it in there as straight as possible, have a good takeoff and a good launch point for this truck. See her crew out there helping her back in, giving her some last minute pep talks here. As soon as she gets her helmet on, she's going to rip this thing out of the hole. Let's see what she can do. And oh man, she had a great run going for her, 300.05. I'll be interested to hear what all went on in the cab of that truck and why that truck just shut off so instantly. Not what you want to see, but man, we have William Woolridge on the line here tonight. Down and dirty, he calls it, a 2000 Ford, a top running truck from down here in Virginia. And man, he is eyeing up that #1 spot. Let's see if he can do it. Oh man, he has it out there too. 337.05. Gonna get him in that top 5 spot so far here tonight. An impressive run put down for him. And next up, this is Eric Gray, 1983 Chevy. This isn't a regular pooler with the Appalachian Outlaws pooling series. He has pooled with us in the past, but gonna be interesting to see what he can do here. Here he goes. 321.35 gonna be the distance for him, and a great run put down for Eric Gray. 1983 Chevy just screaming down the track. And coming out on the track, this is the Judgment Day truck. Matt Mosier behind the controls here. This is a team-powered truck as well. We have a couple trucks in this class where you see the driver alternate from time to time, and this is one of them. He drives this truck alongside Rob Farrell, currently number 3 in the points. Here he goes. Oh my goodness, he's right there. Not going to be quite enough here tonight, but he's up there in the pack pretty good. 346.6, going to be good enough for the number 2 spot. And the final puller in the class here tonight, this is William Campbell with the Scalded Dog truck. This is actually the brains behind this pool we're at here today in Fishersville, Virginia. He did a ton of work to make this pool happen, to get all of us down here. So thank you very much, William. We appreciate it. And here he goes off the line. Let's see if he can win his own pool. And spinning out hard at the end, not going to be quite enough for first, but I bet he's in that top 5 easily. 337.71, and these last couple trucks are just coming off the line so aggressively. The clutch is out, the throttle is 100% within a truck length or two, and they're getting out there pretty good and a solid run. But here's your winner, folks. This is Gary Chambers with the Bandit. Let's watch the winning run one more time. And here's your rundown, folks. The results of this pool are on your screen. Gary Chambers taking the win here tonight, and a solid run for a lot of these trucks, just piling in there and making this super competitive. And next week's episode is going to feature the Beast of the East truck pools. 3 classes of Appalachian Outlaws Pulling Series classes are competing. You don't want to miss it, so be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you then.